Hi everyone, welcome to Bead Sisters. I'm Kay and we are sitting up in my craft room. I've been clearing this area and making some room for hopefully some better video shots from this area. The area that way is going to be where I have a lot of my Christmas stuff. So I'm going to plan to put up some Christmas decorations up there, and I will hopefully show you that in 12 days to Vlogmas. December is in 12 days. Thanksgiving's less than a week away. Are you ready? I'm not ready. I have to clean out my refrigerator and my pantry today to make room for Thanksgiving food and shopping. I haven't even gotten out my Thanksgiving folder. I have a folder, I've had it for a good many years now, with all of the recipes I traditionally use for Thanksgiving. And so I pull that out every year. That way I make sure I'm using the pumpkin pie recipe and the broccoli casserole recipe and all of those things. So I got to get that out today and then make my shopping list for Thanksgiving dinner. But I figured I'd hang out with you for a while. What do you think? You're looking out my window. That actually looks toward the North Edisto River. It's mostly a glorified creek at this point. When we get a lot of rain, it tends to flood, not toward our house, but the other way. It's fairly level floodplain that way. So anyway, I thought I would kind of sit to the side. I'm trying to decide how I like this this spot. But yeah, I thought it'd be kind of nice if you want to look out the window, and it gives me a nice little place to hold up projects for you and pop in a picture if I need to. So how are you? Are you all set? Oh, my sweater is the All the Love pullover. It's a Joji Locatelli pattern. I think it's definitely the only garment pattern I've done of hers. I can't remember if I've done another one, but anyway. So it's got this lace thing at the, more or less at the shoulder, but it's just kind of an oversized sweater. All right, let's talk about what I have finished. Finally. The Luminary Socks are done. These are on the needles for a year and a half. But I'm very pleased with them. They have this lace detail. It's a twisted knit stitch framing it. And then you have this little lace detail here, which provides a frame for the star stitch. Let's see if I can get it where you can see it. Sort of. Let me slip it off of here and maybe you can see it a little bit better. There we go. So you can kind of see how that lace detail on the side frames this little star stitch in here. And then the back is just plain. The yarn is some that I dyed. It was, I'll never be able to reproduce it. I had finished dyeing another colorway, hydrangea, I think. And for whatever reason, I had a lot of dye left in the dye pot, more than usual, I think. So I just tossed a skein in and left it while I was doing other things and came up with this fairly fabulous purple. I love it, but I don't think I'll ever be able to do it again. So it goes, right? Okay, so those are the curling mist socks. There's also a curling mist shawl. And this I actually finished last spring, but I thought I would show you how this pattern looks in something different. This is a speckled yarn. There's another one that I dyed actually. It's the rabbit hole, little speckle. And so you have that, which way should, that shows it a little bit better. You have this twisted stitch here, 1x1 cable, and then lots of squishy garter stitch in between. I think it took a skein and a half, 2 skeins, something like that. So it's pretty big, asymmetrical triangle. So that's the Curling Mist shawl, part of the Shawl Society, and the socks are part of the Sock Society from Curious Handmade. The other thing that I finished is a hat. This is a hat requested by a friend. She is going to be facing cancer treatment starting pretty soon. And she said, would you make me a hat? And I was like, yes, I will make you a hat. I will make you all the hats. So this is a pattern, it's free, and it's from a website called, I think it's Knots of Love, Knots, Knots of Love. And so it has suggested patterns for people who are undergoing chemotherapy. So it's smooth on the inside, so it's just stockinette in the round. The only thing that gives it any bumpiness is where you put in the stripe. And you could, of course, skip the stripe. If somebody is particularly sensitive, you could just do it all in one color. Or a self-striping yarn for that matter. And then I made a little crochet flower. I think that flower is so cute. I was looking for a video tutorial to make a crochet flower. I think I've done it before, but it's been a really long time and I didn't remember. So I searched for one of that. Oh, that one looks good. The tutorial was in Spanish and I managed it. I more or less knew how to do it, so that probably helped, but I knew when she was telling me how many petals you were gonna make, how many stitches, when she was talking about the magic ring that you start with so that you can snug that center up, the center circle up, snugged up tight. But it was an excellent demonstration. If you totally turned the sound off, you could follow it. It was really good. So I'm going to be seeing her on Sunday, hopefully, or I will at least see her family. I think I will see her. It's kind of pushing in right there. Let's see if I can do that better. Anyway, so this hat, I think it's called Sun Hat, but very cute. That is it for finished stuff. I will let you know what I'm working on now. The curling mist. Did I say those other socks were curling mist? They're not curling mist. They are Luminary. These are the curling mist socks. And it has that same little twisted stitch in there. But it's like ribbed. It's like just a fully ribbed sock. And it's so stretchy and squishy. This is the yarn. It is from the Yarnable box from Hypnotic Yarn. It's the November colorway called Apple Crisp. And I love how it's pooling. I'm getting this nice little swirl in there. No idea what the second sock is going to look like. Oh, my light just went out. Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Where was I? Oh, I was telling you how I messed up and called, I think the other socks, I called them curling mist, and they're not. They're Luminary. Again, the curling mist socks with Apple Crisp yarn. And I'm going to see, do I have the pattern? I do, but I'm not sure if there's, okay, there's a small picture. Bottom of the pattern with the, how's that? There, you can see that pattern on there. Nice. This is also Helen Stewart, Curious Handmade. This is Sock Society for this year. The Luminary socks are Sock Society from last year. So finally got around to finishing them. I'm gonna kind of miss them. They've been part of my life for a year and a half. The other couple of things that I'm working on, sort of, haven't worked on lately, but are definitely on the needles. I don't know how to pronounce the name of this pattern. I think it's Alias. It is this pattern from Isabel Kramer. You can see the name of it. So it's got this mock cable down the side. There's a little bit, I think, on the pocket, and then there's some, you can't really see it on this picture, but there's some other of this mock cable kind of under the arm. So this is how far I have gotten. So we have our mock cable on the side, and I'm down, as you can see, below the opening for the sleeves. And it's really, there's a little bit of shaping, but I've just got to get the body done, and then it will be a fair amount of picking up stitches to add the collar, and I think there's kind of a button band. I can't remember if there's actually buttons. Yes, buttons. So I'll have to do this button band as well as this kind of tall ribbed collar as finishing. And I think there's pockets, pretty sure. It's been a while since I worked on it, but anyway. The yarn is from the Fiber Mill in Stromsburg, Nebraska, run by Kelsey. And it says 100% Nebraska, Columbia. Can you see that tag? So yarn from Nebraska with a little bit of vegetable matter, no extra charge for that. And it's so squishy. I have a little bit in this bag, but I have more of the yarn in a bag downstairs, so I should have plenty. My bag is from Whimsy Stitches. Nice big bag. Can you see it okay? And it's got trucks and kind of a wagon. There's a dog. There's the dog. It's sweet. I like this bag. And a good size for a sweater. I couldn't get all of the yarn in here though, so, but that's okay. I probably don't want to carry around that many skeins anyhow. The other thing that's on the needles is a shawl that again has been on the needles for a while. I don't even know how long. It is Goldfish Memory, Casapinka, and I've got, I think this is maybe about 30% done, something like that. And it's a three color shawl. And so you have some slip stitches and garter stitch, just some stripes. There's some more slip stitches and stockinette, more stripes. So you have some garter and stockinette in there. The yarn is from Kristen's Fiber Studio. I don't know if I have tags. I don't see any. But yarn is from Kristen's Fiber Studio. One was, I think, Wish You Were Here. One was Paris, and the other was someplace in Europe. Amsterdam, maybe? Anyway, name for travel places, because this was SAF. I got it at SAF. My husband actually bought it for me at SAF for my birthday. My birthday is shortly after SAF, so I always tell him it's a good place to get stuff, which has been kind of a disappointment the last couple of years because I didn't get to shop for my friends at SAF. But this was actually 2 years ago, 2019 at SAF, and there was actually a Legionnaire's outbreak, Legionnaire's disease outbreak associated with the SAF location, not with SAF itself, but with the location where it is held. And so a fair number of people were not able to be there. This had nothing to do with COVID. It was actually Legionnaire's. But anyway, that was kind of the Wish You Were Here, I think. The bag is from Jan Smiley. And it's got gorgeous places to travel. Some on the other side too, some different ones. It feels very sturdy. It's got a nice base here. I think that's probably wool. And it feels substantial, but it's not stiff. I like it quite a bit. And the handle, you can probably tell, it's like a seat belt. So very sturdy handles. But yeah, my bag from Jan Smiley. Oh, I should probably put the pattern back in there. I have a few projects that I am going to get started on soon that are not knitting, mostly sewing, and they are for Advent. And so I've got to get them done in the next 12 days. Think I can do it? I hope so. First, it's a project bag. I wanted some Christmas fabric that was a little different. What do you think? It's got bicycles on it. So there's carrying a Christmas tree, and let me turn around that way, and some little gifts. That's sweet. I like this. And I was gonna try to match for the bottom of the bag, the base, similar to what you see here where you have a contrast base. And I really wanted to match this pink, but there just wasn't a fabric that matched it well enough. And I felt like if I went with something that was close but not quite, it just wouldn't work. So I went with something instead of contrasty, or instead of matchy, more sort of a contrast. It picks up the gray in here, but I think this gray will work nicely. There's a lady helping me at the fabric store, and she agreed that the gray was a better choice than a pink that wasn't quite right. So that's going to be one, probably a drawstring bag. Next is this, which is red and green. It doesn't really scream Christmas, but it's definitely reds and greens. And again, I wanted a contrast for the base and possibly lining. A little bit of funk on there. Do you know about post-COVID hair loss? Have you heard of this thing? It's real. I have lost probably at least 40% of my hair. So I'm doing my best to keep hair off of stuff, but it is a challenge. All right, so this has these sort of fern frond things, and then this twig-ish with some red berries. I mean, it's not holly. I'm not sure what that is. How do cranberries grow? Cranberries don't grow like that, do they? I don't know what this is, but it's sort of vaguely Christmassy. And so I found this green to coordinate with that. And it's going to be, I'm not sure what this one's going to be, either a drawstring or a zip bag. I haven't decided for sure. The next thing for sure I haven't decided, this may actually end up just being a basket. And I don't have coordinating fabric for this one, but I could use some of the gray. I should tell you that for the first time, I think it's the first time, I actually purchased a yarn advent calendar. I've done things with mini skeins before, but it's generally been swapping with friends rather than actually purchasing one. So I bought one, and I'll show you the packaging in a little bit. It's from PK Yarns on Etsy, Ms. Pamela's Originals, I think. I'll double check. But it is a yarn advent calendar with a nutcracker theme. Wouldn't this be perfect for my little nutcracker mini skein project? I just love how sweet and soft this is. It's pink, and so you've got the, you can see the rat king and the nutcracker. You have Clara. How pretty is that? So I'm really looking forward to getting that made, but like I said, I think that may end up being an open top basket, so I'll have a place to just put all of the minis inside it as I open them. All right, let me grab some Advent stuff, and we will talk about what I'm going to be doing for Vlogmas. First, I'll show you this thing first. This is a project. It's not exactly an Advent project, but it is a Christmas project. This is from Going Gnome. You see the writing on it, maybe. Going Gnome. It's a felt kit to make a Santa or St. Nicholas. Isn't that cute? I'm pretty excited about this. I think it's going to be really fun. I love his little curly beard. Look at that. And it's pretty much everything you need except a foam surface to work on. I have one for felting projects. I've got to go find it. I think I know where it is. But they're not expensive to buy if you needed the foam surface. But yeah, I'm excited. It even includes the felting needles that you will use right here. And I think at the top, that's where you can see the fiber for his beard. But anyway, I'm looking forward to working on that. St. Nicholas Needle Felting Kit makes one St. Nick gnome approximately 6 inches tall. I've done kits from Going Gnome before. Their instructions are excellent. So if you have no experience with needle felting, a lot of their projects are adventurous, beginner friendly. So if you're really intimidated, maybe try making just a felted ball or two first. But as I said, their instructions are excellent. So if you are adventurous and ready to learn something new, their kits are excellent. All right, let's talk about the Advent insanity around here. First is from Himalayan Pet Supply, and it is a dog treat Advent calendar. So it says Best Friends Advent Calendar. And there's, as you can see, there's 20, I assume 24. So it includes Happy Teeth Cheese Char, Yaki Puff Chicken, salmon, peanut butter. If you have peanut butter, since like peanut allergies, this is probably not what you want in your house. Bacon Bites cookies, so lots of variety in here, and we will be sharing that with Bentley for Advent. This is the PK Yarn Advent, and I got the, you had options. You could get 10 or 20 gram minis, and you could also opt to include a full skein. I did the 10 gram minis with the full skein. So this is what the full skein came in. Look at that nutcracker fabric. And this feels really good. I feel like it's good fabric, but it's also lined. So that's probably also what goes into making it feel really substantial. But yeah, I'm really impressed with the packaging for the full skein. It's taken all I've got not to open this. This is the box. As you can see, I have refrained from opening it, but PK Yarn, and the minis should be in here. I don't know if they include any extras other than minis, but we'll see. I'll let you know. She was really good. I asked her a question. I wanted to make sure that I understood her listing. She was on Etsy. It wasn't so much that it was unclear. I just want to make sure I was reading it correctly, that, you know, opting for the different things that were options, and making sure she still had one that it showed that it was available, but again, just wanted to double check. And she got back to me immediately, and obviously shipped in plenty of time. So I'll tell you what I think once I start opening stuff, but very good customer service from PK Yarns. This is the one that's probably going to be primarily Janie opening. It is from Dandelion Chocolate in California. This is a chocolate advent calendar. So this one I did open the box. It's a sturdy, sturdy box. So very impressive packaging. And it's got a kind of a cover over the circle. That's pretty. And whoops, this is supposed to cover these, but they've kind of shifted around inside, so probably need to line that back up. But I can show you that the days, and are they numbered? Maybe there's a guide, but you open them like this. So that looks pretty exciting. I told her any day that has at least 2, I get one of them. But otherwise, I think those are going to go to her. So that is from Dandelion Chocolate. It shipped from California. It came in a couple days ago. I don't remember. But I got a call or a text from the post office. My daughter, who got married about a year ago, her mother-in-law works at the post office, and she sent me a message. She said, "You have a box here that says we need it." I think it may have even said chocolate. So it needs to be protected from temperature. And she said, "We just left it here at the post office, so if you want to come pick it up." I was like, "Yes, thank you." So she just didn't want to take a chance on it being left, having to be left outside. We are in a very rural area, and they do not bring packages to my house. UPS does, but the post office does not. So if there's a package, they will call or leave a note to look for a package nearby. There's a particular spot where they can drop it. But this was one she didn't want to just risk leaving on the ground. So yeah, they called me, and I got to go in and pick it up and visit with my friend Irma for a few minutes. So I'm so glad you hung out with me for a little while today. I have one other thing that I want to show you, and hopefully I will get the tutorial video up for this today, maybe. We'll see. I made my own advent calendar, so I'll actually have 2 advent calendars, one I made and one that I purchased. And so this is made from wrapping paper, and it's a little pouch sealed with a sticker, and I'm going to hang these up on some twine on my wall, probably let's see, right here on, there we go, that wall. And I will be pulling these down each day of Advent, and hopefully I'll have a pattern ready to go by then. I've got a couple of ideas, but I haven't decided on any for sure yet. But anyway, I'll show you a little tutorial on how to make these. It's not complicated, and you don't need expensive equipment to do it. Well, have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. And if we don't chat again, I will see you December 1st for Vlogmas.